so what can Bungie do to fix strikes? Well, this list is very short, so the video is going to be very short. Let's jump right into it. First thing, foremost, is that strikes are always going to be boring regardless because you will be playing them a lot, especially if you're a PvE player. So what Bungie has to do to try to keep this playlist from getting too stale too quickly is to add in more strikes, or at least some variety to the strikes. And this isn't going to benefit PlayStation players as much, but it will benefit Xbox players the most. So for example, gameplay here in the background you're seeing is the Nexus strike, which was a vanilla strike in year 1 that they haven't brought forward for whatever reason, probably a lore reason. But lore doesn't really matter right now. I think it's more important that Destiny gets content instead of focusing on what makes sense with the lore, because right now that's not what people are focusing on. People are focusing on the lack of content, and even then a reskin of this strike would go a long way. So bringing the strike forward could add a little bit of variety to the Nightfall, because it is a vanilla strike. Everybody has access to this, so that's a new Nightfall already. And adding it into the strike rotation could go a long way as well. Now, the reason I'm pretty sure they haven't brought this forward besides lore is because the fact that you can just sit on top on this ledge and snipe the boss and kill all the enemies. But if they just add in joining allies timer like they did for the Wretched Eye strike, where you have to jump down to start the encounter, then I really think that it would fix any problems they have going forward. Another thing too, this part will benefit Xbox players more because just give them the PlayStation exclusive stuff. Give them Echo Chamber, give them maps like Sector 618. Just let them have it. It's been a year. Those strikes are nothing special, though Echo Chamber is probably my favorite strike because it does have some type of mechanic, quote unquote, in it. But really, if Bungie wants this game to survive, they can't keep holding back content from the player base, especially when the content in this game is already so scarce to begin with. Next, and probably the biggest point, is mechanics. So if you look at a strike like Echo Chamber or the new Sepix strike, there's something you have to do before you can damage the boss. In Sepix, what you have to do is you get the corresponding Scorch Cannon for a shield, you hit him with it to bring down the shield, and then you do damage. Very simple, easy to understand, easy to learn, and easy to execute. And that adds a little bit of depth to the fight, making it not as mundane, not as boring. In Echo Chamber, you have to carry the relics to the little posts and put them in there, and then you can shoot the boss. And then he also has a mechanic called Medusa Stare, which insta-wipes you if you're within eyesight. So just different little things like this that add some type of depth to the strike really does allow the content to go a lot longer before it gets really old. Now, I understand when people say that they don't want strikes to be like raids where people have to focus or worry about their teammates being bad. When the mechanics are very simple, you don't have to worry about it. And even then, make it a separate playlist. Make it a hardcore, like, level 430 playlist where that's the most damage you can do. If you go any higher, you wouldn't be able to do damage to the enemies. Make it super hardcore, make it guarantee a legendary drop at the end of every strike, and just make it extremely difficult with the mechanics involved. It'll give those hardcore PvE players a way to grind out at the end, something to do when they're at max light level, because it'll always be a challenge, and it'll just be more fun, at least in my opinion. I find more fun in difficulty, especially when it's not artificial. But I can see where a lot of people would agree that just bumping up light level would be artificial difficulty. But introduction of mechanics will always add in another layer of depth that this game really needs. Because when you look at it, Destiny is very shallow in many aspects. Its quest design is shallow, its RPG aspect is shallow, and the content pool is shallow as well. And that's what leads to problems of content drought that they're having so early into year 3 with the Rise of Iron. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'll have part 3 coming out for you in a few days, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.